Welcome to AstroVed TV. We are so happy to have you watching. My name is Swamini Vali. Today, we are at the beautiful AstroVed office in Chennai. Our focus in this session is sharing with you the layout of the South Indian style chart in Vedic astrology. I have taught Vedic astrology in several different settings over the years to various international audiences. My experience is that some people get stuck not understanding the layout of a chart. This can really cause a lot of frustration and confusion. It slows them down in future lessons. I realized in my classes that some people were not taking the time up front to actually memorize the layout so that they would be very comfortable in all subsequent lessons. To be honest, a lot of the astrology books do not say, "Please stop right now and memorize the 12 zodiac signs and the layout of the South Indian style chart." However, this is exactly something that Dr. Pillai, the founder of AstroVed, did for me and several friends many years ago when he taught us a Vedic astrology session at Mina's house in New Jersey. He used an easel and several pieces of big white paper and colored markers. He patiently showed us how to draw the South Indian style chart, taught us the names and English spellings of the 12 zodiac signs in order. He showed us where they each mapped to on the South Indian style chart. He then asked us to memorize all of this. So I explicitly tell people who are beginners, please trust me on this. Learning the chart layout and the 12 zodiac signs right now is going to help you so much in your subsequent studies. You will be much more comfortable and confident. People who are willing to be humble and have a beginner's mind carefully study this new information when they receive it. When they can come back a week later and draw and label the zodiac signs onto the layout of the South Indian style chart by heart, they are well positioned to soak up new astrological information and begin to absorb more interesting lessons. I know, learning a layout or a mapping system is a very basic task. I encourage you to take a wee bit of time right now and really learn this. Just as all of us once had to learn how to read a map, where is north, south, east, and west, we really do need to learn to understand the layout of an astrology chart. I acknowledge all maps are an arbitrary representation to help us understand something. When I was young, I learned a system of geographic maps in which Africa looks about the same size as Greenland. This was the Mercator map of the world, created in 1569 by a German cartographer as a navigational tool for Western sailors. Although Mr. Mercator did his best, today we know from satellite photos the reality is Africa is actually 14 times larger than Greenland. In modern times, the Peters projection map of the world is a better representation of our Earth. So a good mapping system really does make a difference for how we understand and work with information. There are two main styles for presenting Vedic astrology charts in India, a South Indian style chart and a North Indian style chart. They contain the same information, just presented in a different format. Since AstroVed is based out of Chennai in Tamil Nadu, a state in southern India, we are presenting our tutorial with the South Indian style chart. To summarize, in this session, you will learn how to draw and correctly label the layout of the 12 zodiac signs in the South Indian style chart. You will learn the planetary ruler of each zodiac sign. You can easily memorize this in a week or less if you apply yourself and practice. You may want to hit pause and go get a couple of blank pieces of paper and a pen and follow along. Okay, let's get started. Learning astrology is a wonderful adventure. The first step in drawing the South Indian style chart is to draw a large square on a blank paper. Now, we are going to section this square into 12 small boxes in a particular way. First, we will create 4 specific rectangles in the large square. Each new line will show in red as we draw it, so you can more easily follow along. Then the line will become black as we move on to the next new line. First, draw one line parallel to the top of the square, approximately 1/4 of the way down from the top. Next, draw one line parallel to the bottom of the square, approximately 1/4 of the way up from the bottom. Next, draw one line parallel to the left side of the square, approximately 1/4 of the way in from the left. Next, draw one line parallel to the right side of the square, approximately 1/4 of the way in from the right side. The result is we now have 4 rectangles inside the square, and the rectangles do have some overlap. Now we are going to draw 4 small lines that section each of those large rectangles that we just drew in half. Be very careful not to cross over any lines in making the small line. Start by drawing a short line in the middle of the upper rectangle. Notice that the result of the first small line is 4 boxes along the top of our original square. Next, draw a short line in the middle of the rightmost rectangle. Notice that the result of the second small line is 4 boxes along the right side of our original square. Next, draw a short line in the middle of the bottom rectangle. Notice that the result of the third small line is 4 boxes at the bottom of our original square. Now, draw a short line in the middle of the leftmost rectangle. Notice that the result of the fourth small line is 4 boxes along the left side of our original square. Congratulations! You now have a paper with a layout for the South Indian style chart. Please take a moment and check to make sure you have drawn a large square with 12 smaller boxes inside that looks like this. Please notice there should be a sort of open courtyard in the middle that has no lines in it. Each of the 12 small boxes you have just drawn is a rasi, or zodiac sign. Rasi is a Sanskrit word that means heap. Each zodiac sign is a heap of 30 degrees. There are 12 zodiac signs, and altogether they contain 360 degrees. Dr. Pillai asked us to learn the names of the 12 zodiac signs and how to correctly spell them. He asked us to learn them in this order. He wrote them down on a fresh piece of paper on the easel. You may want to copy their names onto a blank piece of paper in this order. Aries, A-R-I-E-S. Taurus, T-A-U-R-U-S. Gemini, G-E-M-I-N-I. Cancer, C-A-N-C-E-R. Leo, L-E-O. Virgo, V-I-R-G-O. Libra, L-I-B-R-A. Scorpio, S-C-O-R-P-I-O. Sagittarius, S-A-G-I-T-T-A-R-I-U-S. Capricorn, C-A-P-R-I-C-O-R-N. Aquarius, A-Q-U-A-R-I-U-S. Pisces, P-I-S-C-E-S. There are 12 names, so if you memorize 3 names a night in this order and how to spell them, it will take you less than a week to have memorized the 12 names of the signs of the zodiac in their order. Next, Dr. Pillai showed us how to map the 12 signs of the zodiac onto the South Indian style chart layout. Each box in the South Indian style chart is a specific zodiac sign, and that sign is always in that box. In Vedic astrology, we consider Aries the starting point of the zodiac. So now, we are going to learn to label our little boxes with the correct zodiac sign that each of them represents in the South Indian style chart. If possible, follow along and label each rasi, or zodiac sign, onto the South Indian style chart layout on your paper with your pen. Start on the top row, second box from the left, and label it as Aries. This box is always Aries in the South Indian style chart. Now, we are going to fill in the entire zodiac, one sign at a time, going in a clockwise direction. Please understand the entire zodiac is always listed in this order in the South Indian style chart. Let's fill our boxes in one at a time. On the top row, label the third box from the left as Taurus. This box is always Taurus in the South Indian style chart. On the top row, label the box in the upper right corner as Gemini. This box is always Gemini in the South Indian style chart. On the right side, label the second box from the top as Cancer. This box is always Cancer in the South Indian style chart. On the right side, label the third box from the top as Leo. This box is always Leo in the South Indian style chart. On the bottom row, label the box in the lower right corner as Virgo. This box is always Virgo in the South Indian style chart. On the bottom row, label the second box from the right as Libra. This box is always Libra in the South Indian style chart. On the bottom row, label the third box from the right as Scorpio. This box is always Scorpio in the South Indian style chart. On the bottom row, label the box in the lower left corner as Sagittarius. This box is always Sagittarius in the South Indian style chart. On the left side, label the second box up from the bottom as Capricorn. This box is always Capricorn in the South Indian style chart. On the left side, label the third box up from the bottom as Aquarius. This box is always Aquarius in the South Indian style chart. On the top row, label the box in the upper left corner as Pisces. This box is always Pisces in the South Indian style chart. To summarize what we have covered so far, the South Indian style chart has a large square that contains 12 small boxes with an inner open space. The entire zodiac is always listed in this order in the South Indian style chart. These same signs are always in these same boxes in the South Indian style chart. Now you know how to draw the South Indian style chart and label the zodiac signs. Let's add another piece of basic information. Each of the zodiac signs is ruled by a planet. The same planets always rule the same zodiac signs, regardless of where the planets are located in someone's chart. Only the bright planets rule signs. These are the planets that can be seen with the naked eye from Earth. The so-called shadow planets, Rahu and Ketu, do not rule any zodiac signs. We will talk more about them in later videos. Now let's look again at the layout of the South Indian chart with the zodiac signs labeled. Hopefully you are getting comfortable with this. A planetary ruler is like a landlord. He has an agenda to care about that zodiac sign, even if he is not sitting in it. Here is a table showing the planetary ruler for each zodiac sign. These planets always rule these signs. Aries is always ruled by Mars. Taurus is always ruled by Venus. Gemini is always ruled by Mercury. Cancer is always ruled by the Moon. Leo is always ruled by the Sun. Virgo is always ruled by Mercury. Libra is always ruled by Venus. Scorpio is always ruled by Mars. Sagittarius is always ruled by Jupiter. Capricorn is always ruled by Saturn. Aquarius is always ruled by Saturn. Pisces is always ruled by Jupiter. Now, the next graphic shows the South Indian style chart layout with the planetary ruler for each zodiac sign in red outside the box in the chart for that zodiac sign. Please trust me that it will make your future studies so much easier if you memorize these now. The planetary ruler of a zodiac sign is always the same, regardless of where the planet falls in a person's birth chart. For example, Venus always rules Libra. Even if Venus is sitting in Pisces in someone's birth chart, Venus still rules Libra. Let's take a look at the planetary rulers of the 12 zodiac signs. The Sun and Moon each rule only one zodiac sign. The Sun rules Leo. The Moon rules Cancer. The other bright planets each rule 2 signs. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Mars rules Aries and Scorpio. Jupiter rules Pisces and Sagittarius. Saturn rules Aquarius and Capricorn. To summarize, in this video, you have been introduced to the layout of the South Indian style chart, the names and locations of the 12 zodiac signs in the 12 small boxes of the South Indian style chart. You know that the 12 zodiac signs are always in the same box in the South Indian style chart. You know that each zodiac sign has a planetary ruler, and that only the bright planets rule zodiac signs. The same planets always rule the same zodiac signs, regardless of where they are sitting in someone's birth chart. Thank you so much for watching this session. I really hope the video has been helpful. I hope you are inspired to learn and memorize the layout of the South Indian style chart and the 12 zodiac signs, and which planet rules which zodiac sign. It's a simple time investment that will really pay off huge dividends for you in establishing a solid foundation for your future Vedic astrology studies. For more details, please see AstroVed.com. And on Facebook, you are welcome to join our group page, Astrology Club-AstroVed, and post your questions there. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. And as always, everyone at AstroVed is wishing you well.